Man.
So let us get on to Jonathan Majors, y'all. Post your comments, man. Post your comments. We got the crew in the building. Monique, you're gonna get first dibs at this one, but Jonathan Majors is not gonna have to do no jail time. Here's the news story, so the people can't say Lamont be making up stuff.
Actor Jonathan Majors has been sentenced to probation, avoiding jail time after a domestic violence conviction in New York. NBC News reports that the Marvel star must complete a 52-week batterers intervention program, continue mental health counseling, and stay away from his ex-girlfriend, Grace Jabari. Majors faced a year behind bars. It comes after a jury determined in December that the Creed 3 star was guilty of misdemeanor assault and harassment and not guilty on 2 other counts, per NBC News. The charges stemmed from an alleged March 2023 incident with Jabari, who said that the Marvel actor physically assaulted her after she grabbed his phone to see alleged texts between him and another woman. Prosecutors accused Majors of slapping Jabari's face and fracturing one of her fingers, per the outlet. The 34-year-old was arrested at the time when police responded to a 911 call that was made from inside a New York City apartment, the NYPD previously confirmed to E! News. Majors has maintained his innocence in the case. His lawyer, Priya Chowdhury, said in a previous statement to E! News, Jonathan Majors is completely innocent. We are quickly gathering and presenting evidence to the district attorney with the expectation that all charges will be dropped imminently. Jabari, a British choreographer and
So all the man's got to do is a little bit of probation and a little bit of going to some counseling classes. Monique Nicole, are you satisfied with what has happened with him, or do you feel like they didn't go far enough?
Whew, lots to say. I am very happy with the verdict.
Okay.
I'm very happy that he's not going to do any jail time. I've said from the beginning, first of all, I'm shocked that this case took so damn long. First of all, I mean, my goodness. I've always said they were both guilty. I felt guilty of something, and I feel like she was guilty of something. Now, I thought it was messy from the beginning. I think it dragged on too long. I just think it just feels like this took forever just to come to this conclusion, which I pretty much knew this was going to happen anyway. But I'm happy the brother's not doing jail time. I hope and pray for his sake that he does seek the help that he may or may not need. I'm assuming, listen, I always believe when there's some smoke, there is some fire. Not to say everything is true and that what everybody says is true is not that, but there is something there. So I do hope that he gets help for his temper, anger issues that he may have. And hopefully he's learned his lesson. And is she going to receive any discipline in this matter? Or we don't know that?
They didn't. I haven't heard, seen, or they haven't said anything about that. So I would have to do some more digging to see if they're going to have her do anything. Because I think she should too.
I think she should too. That's why I'm asking. Yeah, I think they both need some type of discipline. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy the brother is not going to jail. Very happy.
Okay. All right, what you got on this hammer? Because you always break windows with your hammers.
I feel like he shouldn't have been charged with that because she was the aggressor. She was the aggressor, and he called the police. And they already showed that there wasn't any injuries. She should be arrested. She should be arrested too, even though he didn't get any time or anything like that. I just feel like he was railroaded kind of, because once they showed him chasing, that footage of her chasing him, she was the aggressor. She should have been charged. And I call BS on all of it.
Okay.
I think it was for something else. He probably didn't do something that he was supposed to do, and then it came down to this, and that's how he lost the role. That's my opinion.
Let me plug the conspiracy theorists on this channel. If you love great conspiracies that are rooted in some kind of truth, please go check out and subscribe to the Moochie channel, ladies and gentlemen, because you get good theories there, and she proves it most of the time. Now, Big Larry, I kind of know how you feel about this, and I remember how you felt when Marvel went on ahead and ditched this ass, not probably having more evidence than what we had. And so I'm interested to see, how do you feel about what has happened with him now? And how do you feel Marvel should treat him now? You think they're good with their decision? What are your thoughts on the Jonathan Majors move?
I mean, I'm going to look at this whole thing with Jonathan Majors as sort of like a public service announcement to Black men.
Teaching lesson. Yeah.
It is a teaching lesson. Messing with them white ladies will get you all effed up. I mean, I hate to say it, but that's really what happens. If you're messing with the white women, you are a phone call away from having your whole life destroyed.
Larry,
all I have to do is say, this man touched me, and the police are going to show up and give them every single benefit of the doubt, and you are going to have to spend your life savings and your reputation trying to defend yourself. And when what's all said and done, you're going to be left in tatters. Even if you still have your freedom, you're still going to be left in tatters. You're going to spend thousands of dollars on attorneys. Your reputation is going to be ruined, and the women are just simply going to walk away and go hop back on Tinder and go find themselves another dude. And
wow. He said Tinder. Damn.
You know, and so it's one of those situations where it's just like, I mean, you really, at some point you have to. I mean, Malcolm X, he got locked up. They said, you didn't get locked up for what you did. You got locked up for messing with them white women, and not much has really changed. I mean, let's be honest. The brother was running away. He was running down the street and ran around blocks. This dude was sprinting through New York City trying to get away from this woman, and then was the one who called for help. And he got arrested and got prosecuted and then got convicted. Now, if that is not a warning to Black men to stay away, I don't know what is. I mean, I get it. You can love that person. The person can love you back. But if things go sideways at one point or another, expect you are not going to have fair treatment. Okay. It is what it is.
Wow. Larry said white women should come with a warning label on their ass that says, if things go left, expect your Black ass not to get fair treatment.
And people can say that's bigoted, but really, honestly, that is just the reality of the situation that we live in America. It's today. It was yesterday. It was 50 years ago. That's
what I'm trying to figure out. Hasn't this been preached to our community from the beginning of time? I mean, listen, it's very controversial. I go back and forth. I don't want to be a hypocrite because I have dated outside of my race in the past. But I just feel like when it comes to Black men, and we might have to save this for another day, but I just feel like the history is there, right? The history is there. I don't know.
See, it's different. It's different for Black women, but not really, because it's just in reverse. For us as Black men, if we're dating a white woman and they go and say we did something to them, it's automatically going to be assumed that we did. Now, with Black women, if you're dating a white man and the white man does something to you and you call the police, they're automatically going to assume that it was consensual, or you wanted it, or it didn't happen. And so it's going to be the same. It's just going to be in the reverse. So if you get raped by a white man and you call the police, unless you show up to the police station all beat up to hell, you know, they're probably gonna make you feel like you're the one that did something wrong. And even if they do take a rape kit, they're probably gonna file it away somewhere until it's so degraded they can't use it.
I'm gonna say this. Monique, ladies and gentlemen, you want to subscribe to her channel because she's going to have a new segment where she's going to be covering things dealing with relationships and topics like that. And this should definitely be a segment on her show. And she should probably get me and Larry and Moochie to come through and talk about it, because I kind of take the take of date at your own risk. Martin Luther King fought for us to have equality, to basically date who you want, love who you want. But that doesn't mean that by doing those things, they don't come with risk. Back in the day, back in the civil rights days. There was whites and blacks intermingling, but it was very, very dangerous for blacks to be intermingling with whites. I mean, very dangerous.
Very dangerous.
And it's safer now. It's safer now. You can walk down the street holding hands with a white woman or a white man, and it'll be no one's going to come up and bop you on the back of the head in most parts of the country. The problem comes when something starts to go wrong in that relationship. If someone cheats or someone decides they want to move on and break up, what happens is if you're a black person, your partner's whiteness can be weaponized against you. And that's not, and I'm not saying it's like white people and black people shouldn't date or it's or being racist. I'm simply trying to let black folks know out there, like there is a serious physical risk to your safety and to your freedom if the person that you're with turns out to be less of a good person than you think, and they decide to weaponize their whiteness against you. Because people do it, and it's happened. Now there are people who have, like Tiger Woods, as dumb as he was blessed that his wife, this beautiful Swedish model, did not weaponize her whiteness. She took his money, but she didn't weaponize his whiteness. You know.
Hey, Larry. Yes, she did. You remember when she found out that he was sleeping with all them hookers in L.A. and Las Vegas, and she took that 9-iron, went to his car, went upside his head, and she ain't getting no charges.
And he ran out the house like he was on fire and had that car accident and ran into the tree. She did weaponize it. They do that, and I know that for a fact. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
I'm just.
The question is, if it was a sister,
and they act like they not doing it when they doing it.
If it was a black woman that did that, we would be understanding and empathetic. So I'm just curious. If it was a black woman that did that, do we think law enforcement would have taken her to jail for real?
Hell yeah.
No, I don't think they would have.
He would have let it go. I don't think he would have let that happen though.
I don't think law enforcement would have taken it. And I think honestly, I don't think she weaponized her whiteness in that moment. I think she just was like, this motherfucker's been sleeping with hookers in the back of his car behind subway buildings. Hell no.
Subway.
Or whatever place they're behind the bowling alley, whatever it was, they were talking about this dude pulling up behind. He wouldn't even go get a hotel room. This dude was up there sleeping with hookers in the back of his SUV. I mean, that wasn't weaponized whiteness. That was a wife.
That was woman.
That was a wife wanting to whoop her.
Woman who was rageful and pissed at her husband.
Yeah. But she still should have got arrested for hitting the man upside the head and busting his car. She hit him with a 9-iron.
It's not right. It's not right. But
look,
Jessica. It's not right, but I understand it. It's not right. Right, but I understand it.
I understand it too, but it's not right.
Adults. I just feel like if she was a sister, we would not be talking about it.
We would not.
We would not be talking. That's all I'm saying.
No. Think about it like this, Mo.
If Boris Kojo did that, and what's her name came up and whooped his ass, it would be, people would be like, well, what do you expect?
Exactly.
Right. But it's Tiger Woods, and he was the preeminent. He was the face of sports, really, at that moment. So that's why we're talking about it. Because let's just say something happened with me and Crystal decided to chase me down the street with my baseball bat. Ain't nobody gonna talk about that. It's not even news.
I'm saying all the black girls would be supporting Crystal. That's what I'm trying to say. I agree with Larry. I don't think she weaponized her whiteness. We can say, did she benefit from white privilege?
She benefited, definitely.
A better word.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, she benefited
from white privilege, but she, to me, did not intentionally weaponize her whiteness. I don't agree.
Right. No, I agree.